this short video is how to set up the time zone of data in your Baskettrader version 5, which will adjust your pivots to work properly. So what we have is the Baskettrader TS version 5 on a chart. Just open up any chart of a single pair, just put it on the 1 hour chart and turn it on, and then also in the accessory folder you will find this S9 time zone of data adjust indicator. Put that on the chart. Now there are no settings for it. All there is color, so there's nothing there to really change. So just put it on the chart, and what you will end up with is this gray area on your screen. Now what we want to do is get our pivots. When you turn them on, we want your pivot, yellow pivot line, which is your pivot point weekly, to be roughly in the center of this gray area. You don't want it to be outside the gray area if you possibly can get it to stay in, because you don't want to be too far away. But this kind of gives you a range of where it can be. So what you do is you go into the indicator, the Baskettrader, and you'll find this down towards the bottom here. And my particular one you see is set at -6, and it comes out right in the center. And you can see if you change this to, say, -10, let's see what happens here, where it puts it. Click the pivots back on, and you can see it's down here at a -10. So you want to keep adjusting that number until you get the yellow line approximately in the center. Let's try a positive number just for the heck of it. And you can see it puts it way up there. So just keep playing with that number and you get it down into the center, or as close as you can to the center. And then make sure you remember what that number is, like -6, because that's the number you will have to enter in here when you use the pivots, so that puts them in the proper place. And of course, if you save this as a template or a settings, you can save it as a settings, then you won't have to keep typing it in there. But in this case I use a -6, and puts it right in the center for me. So I just thought I would create this little indicator. This will help you set up your pivots at the proper point, so you don't have to sit and try to calculate them using GMT and all this other stuff. This makes it easier for you. So I'll give it a try and see what happens. And when you're not using the indicator, just be sure you get rid of this one. You don't need it on there. It's just there to help you get your pivots point in the right place. And this way, when we do pivots and you post your charts over in the forum, we'll be close to each other. We won't be one have a pivot here and somebody else have their main pivot way up here, another one down here. We want to keep it all pretty close. So give it a try, see what happens.